Hi, I'm Mike Davis, owner of Extra Mile Technology Services, and this is your 2026 Security Awareness Training. Now, pay attention because we're going to test you on this every month in the form of a phishing email. With that said, if anybody ever shows up on site claiming to be one of us, wanting access to your computer or wanting to crawl around under your desk and plug something into your computer, feel free to call our office and verify that we actually sent someone if you weren't expecting someone. And you can always check on our website and see what our team members look like. We've got everybody's picture on there, and we try to keep that up to date. Also, I just want to point out over the phone, we're not going to ask you for your password. If there's a situation where we need to get in as you or something like that, we'll reset it and then set it back to whatever you want when we're done. But we'll coordinate that with you so you're not going to get locked out. But we're not going to call up and ask you for your password. So, the hot topic, AI. We used to show you images of emails that were, they had like bad grammar in it and spelling mistakes, things like that, and then point those out to you so you could spot those. That's not a thing anymore. The attackers have AI, and the emails that they're crafting now don't have all those grammatical errors in them. The other thing that's happening is they are efficient and quick with their attacks. They are paying for accounts on LinkedIn, the premium ones that let you monitor things. And when people are announcing that they got a new job, they're attacking that person that day. And it's not something that like somebody somewhere has had this happen. We've had this happen to multiple clients of ours in this last year. And you know, the sad thing is like these are usually young kids straight out of college, first job, and email comes in. It's from a Gmail account, but it has their boss's name on it. And hey, can you go out and give me some gift cards? And the new hire is like, oh, gotta impress the boss, and they go out and they do it. So make sure to train your new employees on this stuff their first day. Like day one, make sure that they understand that their boss is not going to email them from a Gmail account and have them go out and get gift cards or something. Okay, now why are these attackers? Why do they do it? Right? Like, what's their motivation? It's all about money. And think about this: in India right now, the average salary of a professional there is $400 a month. In Nigeria, it's $200 a month. Okay, so even if they can rip you off for a $300 worth of gift cards, that's a month's salary in some of these countries. Okay, so they have a tremendous amount of motivation and time to pull this stuff off, and that's $300 is like nothing compared to what they get in some of the other attacks. So in this last year, business email compromise has surpassed ransomware in terms of the money that they're able to get out of people and companies. Okay, so the attackers want to impersonate you via your email account more than anything because that's their best chance of getting the most money out of you. Some things that you can do to protect yourself there: if you get an email from somebody that you weren't expecting, pick up the phone. Just stop what you're doing. If it seems a little odd, either just don't do it. Okay, that'd be nice. Or pick up the phone and call them and say, "Hey, did you really send me a loan request form or something? You need all this information." Um, or you can forward it to us, but then sometimes we just end up calling the person and asking, "Did you send this?" Because we don't know. Once somebody's account's been taken over and their email signature's there and everything else, it's really difficult to verify if it was them sending it or not, especially when the attackers are using AI to rip through their compromised email account and use the phrases and language that that person would normally use. Now, we've talked about this in the past, and there's a video, I'll link to it at the end, about how attackers can bypass MFA. Like the Google Authenticator and the Microsoft Authenticator, there's ways that they can do that. These hardware keys, at the moment, there's no way to get around them, okay, for multi-factor authentication. So we strongly recommend these. One like this is roughly $25. It's durable enough. I've had one on my keyring for a few years now. It's been fine. So we recommend them. We also strongly recommend a password manager, because a password manager will mitigate a lot of these attacks. And one of the first things that you'll hear about in terms of security is to make sure you have a unique password for every website. And with as many websites as the average person has to log into, it's just impossible to create a unique, strong password for each site and remember them all, okay? So if you have questions about a password manager, at the moment we're recommending Keeper, and we can get that to you at a really, really reasonable price. And we'd be happy to help you and all your users set it up, because a little bit of this kind of preventative maintenance will go a long way towards securing your environment. So another thing that's been in the news is these, they call it quishing. I don't know where they come up with these terms, but anyways, it's like phishing only with QR codes. And one of the things that we haven't seen this, but we know it's out there and we've seen kind of variations of it, is attackers will send a package to your house or your business with something in it, or maybe an empty box, and then it'll have a packing slip listing something on it, okay? And then it'll say questions about your order, and then have a QR code on it, okay? And so you're puzzled, and maybe it was for like a high dollar item or whatever, so you whip out your phone and scan the link, and then they trick you into putting in your MFA codes and stuff, and then boom, they've got your account. Okay, so anything like that, look for an alternate way to contact the company. And if you get something like that that's that odd, just if you absolutely have to, you can view the link, but don't actually go to the link, okay? Just to give you a little more context or something like that. But no legit company is that we've seen is only putting a QR code in there and not mentioning anywhere on the packing slip the real company behind it or anything like that. So just be really cautious of that stuff. So another one that has been going on for years is hackers will buy ads on legit websites like MSN or Yahoo or whatever, those news type homepages, or the Auburn Citizen or whatever. They'll buy ads and get you to click on those ads, and then boom, they'll pop up a page that fills up your whole screen, goes full screen, and says your computer's infected and call this number right now. Sometimes they're even doing this thing like you see on the screen where they have a Cloudflare prompt that verifies that you're a human. And the reason they're doing that is the automated link checkers can't pass the human test, so they can't see what's on the other side of that link to know that it's malicious. And so that's how they're getting around that stuff. So even if you have software to try to block malicious links, they're getting around it with this. So if that pops up, just close out of your browser. Don't go any further. And hover over the if you really just the curiosity has got the best of you and you want to click on that next story, hover over the link before you click on it, and look at the URL and see if it's a legit website or if it's just a website made up of random characters or something. So spamdexing, this is a new one. That, well, not that new, but we're seeing more of it. The attackers are bidding on keywords, and then when you go to search that keyword, then their sponsored links are showing up at the top. Now, in this case here, Five Star Bank, they're a local bank. And if you type that in the search engine, this other bank out in California gets promoted over our local Five Star Bank. Okay, now that's actually a legit link, but it shows you that even these searches aren't that accurate. What you want to do for something like your banking website, either bookmark the legit site and then use your bookmark to get there, or if you've got the URL memorized, type it in the address bar. Don't search for it, okay? The best approach is to store it in your password manager and then go from there, all right? I'm going to share a real world incident because this one incident pretty much hits on most of the things we've been talking about, and it happened a couple of weeks ago. So I know this is a current thing that's going on right now, and it could happen to you if you're not careful. So a friend of mine, not one of our clients, but a friend of mine, gets up in the morning, goes to her laptop, tries to get onto Gmail, and is having trouble logging in. So she calls the number on the screen. They support helps her get into her account. Half an hour later, she's walking by her laptop and she sees that someone's in her bank account and clicking around on stuff. So she freaks out and panics and closes her laptop and calls me. So I get in there forensically and start going through her laptop to see what had happened. Well, when she went to go to Gmail that morning, instead of putting gmail.com in the address bar or clicking on her bookmark for Gmail or password manager like we just talked about, she went to the search part and just typed Gmail in there. And what had happened is the hackers had bid on that keyword, and when she clicked their link, it took her to a page that looked exactly like the Gmail login page. But when she put her username and password in, it didn't work. But a pop-up popped up and said, trouble logging in, call this number. So she called the number and they helped her. And then when she had hung up and they saw her computer was idle, they used that remote connection that they had set up with her while she was on the phone and went ripping through her history and saw that she had logged into her bank, put that address in. Chrome had stored her banking password, so it let them right in since she had logged in with that computer before and all that. It didn't do the MFA stuff. And from there, they went and found out that she had had credit card points that could be redeemed for gift cards. And when you redeem those gift cards, it shows you the number of the gift card on the screen, and you can claim those instantly from wherever you are in the world. So they drained all that stuff out. They were in the process of, it looks like, trying to add another payer to her bill pay so that they could wire some money out, but they didn't get that far. My guess is most likely, since they already had access to her Gmail and stuff, they would have written a couple of rules in there so that when the bank tried to confirm that she had added another payer in her bill pay, she would have never saw that. They would have confirmed it, and then it would have added the payer, and they would have cleaned out even more money. Okay? So the lessons learned there, the first thing, type the address of where you're going in the address bar, or use a bookmark, or use your password manager. Make sure you've got MFA on everything, and don't call random numbers on looking for remote support. Call somebody that you know and trust. So, hope that information gives you something to think about in terms of safety and security online. Remember, we're going to be sending out those phishing tests every month, and we share the results with your employer. And if you want to watch a 5-minute video that goes a little deeper into how attackers are bypassing MFA on Office 365 and those things, you can click somewhere on the screen here. I'll put the link. Could be up here, could be over here. It'll be somewhere. Thanks for watching.